is getting to the ball and everybody getting the proper angles, and that's what you're going to try to get done today. I mean, we want to stay off the legs as much as we can.
Is it better in the back pass, or is it more, how do you compare and contrast them? You know, because you hit them more back in the day than you do now. And you had a tackle to get people on the ground.
Yeah, you know, I'm used to thudding a lot, so it doesn't bother me as much. You know, I think that you know, there's a place for live. There's going to be a place for live tackling. The NCAA obviously has mandated how much you can do, but I don't think we're that much different really than in the past what we did with the live tackling. You know, we made it a lot more live tackling against our scout team guys, but not against our good guys.
And when you had good tackling teams at Penn State, did you do it a lot, or was it just a situation where you had good kids that
yeah, we had good players. Good players are usually pretty good tacklers.
Yeah.
They make you look good. You know, I think there's an art to tackling. You got to work on it. It's like anything else. If you don't work on it, you're not going to get good. And we work on it here. We do here. We have a tackling period every day.
Right.
Every day we have a circuit. We do tackling, some type of a tackling drill. And each position is very unique and what aspects of tackling, if you're a defensive lineman, what kind of tackling we have is very different than a secondary guy. So we try to be more position specific when we do our tackling drills.
I know it's a safety issue, but you know, some people will say, you know, tackling more against the body condition, and you learn good skills by doing it.
Well, I'm going to agree with that. I think there's a time and a place where you know, if you're not running through people, I think, you know, I'm not a guy that likes to wave by guys. I like to go and put my hands in the proper position. It's been called old school tackling, whatever you want to call it. I never coach rake up through a guy. Just don't coach. I put the old school, you know. You know, put your nose on the number, slide your head to the side, you know, and there's just fundamental positions of tackling, okay? And it's not hard to, if you get in a good football position, and you always hit through, not to, okay? That's the first thing you got to do. You know, it's, you know, eyes on your target. You know, bring your feet and then bring your hands, and so you know, those are the fundamentals. You got to always, that hasn't changed ever in football. Those are the fundamentals of football.
But the game has changed. When you started, it was closer together.
Absolutely.
And now it's apart.
Now you're getting into another realm of things. This would be a big discussion for me. I'd love to get into this discussion.
You got a whole wide
and how about we add another official too to the game, because the game's changed. The game is not the same. We officiate it the same way, but you know, I think the Big 12, we have the extra guy. We need the extra guy because the biggest thing now is it's sideline to sideline, much more, as I say, I'm a defensive guy. There's some illegal things that are going on out on the perimeter every once in a while that they miss, and I think that's the part that we have to understand, that we need to, that's a lot more action going out there in the perimeter. You're right, it's now field to field, looking for your one-on-one matchups. It's changed. It's not played in the phone booth anymore. The game's changed. I think we need to address that as we officiate too.
You know, every defensive coach I've ever talked to, the two periods that they're most concerned about tackling: opener, bowl game, because you don't.
Yeah, well, I can tell you why. The problem is there's always the age-old thing: did we do enough or not enough tackling? When you get to the bowl season, you got to survive the first quarter, the speed of the first quarter, because you've been going against your scout teams. Now, if you go one-on-one with your ones versus your ones, there's a place for that. But you're always leery. Do we get somebody hurt because we're going against each other? Do we do enough? Do we not do enough? So I've always felt openers, bowl games, first quarter, survive the first quarter, get used to the speed. There's no way playing Alabama we can duplicate that speed, you know, and we're a different football team, a different style of football team than Alabama will be. That's hard, so you've got to get used to it, get caught up to it fast. If you get caught up to the tempo quickly, survive the first quarter, you know, you're in the game.
I just think it's interesting because you're doing less tackling, but it's so important.
You know what, but then again, we're simulating more types of drills because of what we have to deal with. We have to be more creative as coaches and find ways to simulate tackling to get our guys to be better tacklers. But it's an art, and it needs practice like anything else. You got to do something every day to get better, or you're not going to get better.
Coach, last season, the defense really played hard. I mean, it was obvious. You watched the kids, and at times they played great. But what kind of noticed last year was that towards the end of a half, towards the end of the game, we seemed to have letdowns or ran out of steam or whatever. Do you think we have developed enough depth this year to kind of overcome some of that? Or,
you know, to be honest with you, I didn't even look at last year's games. I didn't concentrate. I kind of didn't want to get an opinion and form an opinion of any players. In my mind, everybody's got a fresh start with me this year. To be honest with you, I think we're in fantastic condition. I think Mike Joseph and his staff downstairs has done an incredible job. You know, and one of the advantages we had this year was we were able to be there. In the past, we were not able to go out and watch what went on in the summertime. It was against the rules. But here, they passed a new rule. We're allowed to be there, so we got to watch the workouts. And I'll tell you what, that was impressive to see the kind of shape our guys are in. And even going out here to camp, I haven't noticed that. It's a different game now. It used to be you kind of cut to camp, you had to condition them. Well, now they're already full gear. So I do think we have some depth, and every time you say that, something happens. So I'm gonna knock on wood on that one. And we've developed some guys, and we've got a lot of guys that are rotating in there. So I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, I was talking to the players yesterday. The message I got from the players, the big advantage of the coaches being able to be involved this summer and work with the guys a little bit, was that when now they're coming out for fall camp, they feel a little bit more task ready. They understand what the coaches are kind of looking for.
We were able to coach a little bit too. It wasn't just standing there. We had so many hours a week, and we used those hours. And if nothing else, it gave you time to get to know for me, it was vital. It gave me a chance to get to know the players better, just be around other guys, and not in an atmosphere where it wasn't rushed. We were taking our time going through things, so I could watch the linebackers and the secondary guys and get to know them and watch them perform. And I become more comfortable with everybody on the team now. And it gave me some time to laugh with them too.
Exactly. They get to know you a little bit, right?
Who's that knucklehead? What is he talking about?
Coach, what have you seen from Shank Riddick in the 2 days?
Well, I tell you, Shaq's a guy that can go. I mean, he's a guy that has great speed and acceleration, and we haven't put the pads on. He's just getting himself. We didn't have him. He was not in the period that the other guys had, so everything's new to him. It's a little bit different pace for him. First time going through it, he's kind of figured it all out too. But the one thing I like about him is he gives you a lot of effort. He's a guy that's willing to work at it. He picks up things quickly. He can run. He can do those things. Anxious today, put the tops on, get a little better idea.
You can play him just at the end, or maybe some stand-up?
Well, one of the things with us is, Coach Gibson's scheme is multiple fronts. We can do a lot of different things. So to pigeonhole anybody into one position, we're not going to do that. We're going to be able to move people around and do different things, and that's the good thing about the scheme that we've put in.
You think he's athletic enough to...
Well, I think he's athletic enough. I think one thing, Shaq probably got to add some weight a little bit. There'll be some techniques, but he's willing and he wants to do it, and so that's a good start.
Thank you.
Tom, are you working with his noses now?
No, I work with the whole defensive line.
Okay, Damon told me he was in, and there was like a shot by time to get us.
Yeah, I work with the whole defensive line. We break them off, though, to sometimes, when we want to go two different groups to do two different things.
All right, practice that. Right. If I can stick with this for a minute, Darian Howard.
Big Bear.
Yeah. Looks like he's in good shape.
He's in great shape. I mean, they're all in really good shape. I'm proud of the way they worked this summer. I think the big guys are in good shape. That has not been a problem. Our conditioning hasn't been a problem. And one of the ways you can tell it is by the way they run to the football. That's how I always judge condition of the big guys, is when the ball is thrown, are they running to the ball? And with the offense that we have, with all the different screens, whatever word you want to use, rocket screen, bumble screen, whatever, we see a lot. So we see they have to retrace their steps. A lot of times the offense you go against, your own offense, you don't get to see because you're playing in that phone booth style. When this offense, they got to run. Sure. And I've been impressed with him. And one thing Darren is in good shape, and he's done well so far.
And a Big Bear, you said?
Yeah, Big Bear.
Oftentimes, high school linebackers, they'll move down to the defensive line. Unusual to see it this quick, and also to go to that nose position, not a defensive end.
Well, I've always felt if you're going to be good on defense, you take big secondary guys, make them linebackers, take your big linebackers, make them defensive ends, and take your bigger linebackers and make them go down and be defensive linemen, because they can run, they have a good feel for the game. So that's, I think, when you get to be pretty good in defense, that's how your defense is set up.
Yeah, Coach, Kyle Rose has just made the switch this year from defensive end to more or less nose tackle. How do you think he's doing? I think he's
done well. He's played that last year some, so he's got a pretty good idea. Cal's very comfortable playing the nose.
What did he have to change